are never truly lost. Well, okay, sure. Maybe we get turned around for a few days in the woods, where life just feels like it's getting the best of us and everything's going wrong. And I'm Mike Martin, and I've stood right where you're standing, lost, beaten down, like nothing's ever gonna change. And that's why I built this camp. And that's why I'm inviting you to join me and all the members of this wild community. Because you know what, friend? It does get better. So come along with me into the wild and let me show you this awesome, unique skill set that lays within inside of you. With help from the land, we're gonna unlock the steward that's inside each and every one of us that will lead the way out of the darkness and into healing. Here at the Camp of Healing on Project Mindfully Outdoors. As I set out on the body of work that will make up season number 3 of this project, I can't help but to look back and recall all the footsteps that have not only led me to where I stand today, but also have played a part in shaping the person that I've grown into. Often I find myself in situations, or even just looking in the mirror, where I have to honor those shifts within my spirit. Still, I've also had to allow a space in order to acknowledge the things that remain the same. There's a balance between what's changed and what's not that at times can be very difficult to really understand why we see some situations through a new set of eyes, yet our impulse to react and respond still immediately feels as if nothing's changed. Or still, there's other events in which we look at them through that old constant light that we always saw it through, yet our response is drastically different. And I believe it was Crow who left us with a reference point in which to really begin to explore and understand this difficult question. Because man's law changes based on his understanding. However, only the laws of the soul constantly remain the same. You see, I found myself reflecting on this idea during a number of recent journaling sessions, trying to build a link between the progress of crossing this river within my own journey, and still I find myself hindered at times by the idea of self-sabotage that comes up within the waves underneath that bridge along the way. And if you think back to growing up within the safety of the den, and you look at the lessons that you were taught, whether they were directly aimed at you or not, each of them has a place that help to form the laws in which govern how you think and you engage within the much wider world on that moment that you stepped out of the den and you were thrust into the reality of trying to make sense of life within real time. You see, many of those lessons, they stuck so deep within you that they become habits, meaning they're with you and they come out without any thought at all. And as we blaze this path along the trail of life, you come to realize that many of those habits and views, each time they're tested, and they inevitably shift. They shift in the outcome in the way that you face and respond to the world around you. But yet, meanwhile, deep within the soul, those laws, they're quietly and almost dormantly still there. Because the reality in which we have to live our lives causes us to have to pivot and adapt just in order to survive. And I think that the medicine Crow was offering us, it really serves as a reminder. And even more than that, it's an invitation, really, to become consciously aware of just how those shifts within our reality cause us to drift away from the core of what's living within our soul. And it offers a direction in order to bring you back to the balance that lays within the circle of yourself. And how that path, it never truly leaves us. And we have this ability to tap into it and to give it a voice. But we have to work in order to blaze a new trail to find our way back home, which lays really within the allowance of expression and honoring those original values. Really getting back to the simpler days, back when we were at the core of when we were a cub, safely nestled within the den. So as you move through the week, I invite you to set your intention on reconnecting with that vision of those core laws that were imprinted upon your soul. Do it through journaling, talking out loud, and really put each moment up for review. Test your actions, test your thoughts, and ask yourself, does this allow space for my soul to be here and honor all of those original things that I was taught as I blaze my path toward finding myself and moving into just who I'm supposed to be?